Hello, welcome to the first BCAFM podcast. My name is Jocelyn and I am the Membership and Marketing Coordinator for the BC Farmers Market and also the host of this podcast. I want to take this time to acknowledge that I live and work in the unceded territories and the homelands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nation. I hope you're having a lovely day so far, and I am so excited to be launching this month's podcast to celebrate National Indigenous History Month and to recognize Indigenous Peoples Day on June 21st. I have connected with Garett, who is the owner of Rad Relish, and he is proudly Métis. He sells zucchini relish, which is vegan, gluten-free, and made in BC. Garett has been a member of the Farmers Market since the beginning of the pandemic at the Kelowna Farmers Market. Please welcome Garett.
So my name is Garett Millsap. I'm the owner of Rad Relish Co. A little bit about myself. I graduated in 2008 from Okanagan College with a degree in business administration. I've went on to work for a couple large Fortune 500 companies. Got into the relish game through my friend Kyla, who owns Rad Jams. She happened to be over at my house one day and we had a jar of my grandmother's zucchini relish and we put it on some burgers at a barbecue, and she said, "We need to make this stuff." And I said, "I don't have time to make this stuff." And she said, I can make this stuff. And I said, "Okay." And this was pre-COVID, and then COVID hit, and I was sitting at home in front of my computer going, I'm kind of bored. I'm bored. So I phoned up Kyle and I said, "Let's do it." So I am also a member of the Kelowna Métis Association, and I'm on the board of directors for them. And then I'm a member of Métis Nation BC, and my grandmother is a Métis elder. You know, in my travels of grocery stores and stuff, looking around for Métis products in grocery stores and just in food in general, and I couldn't find any. I thought to myself, I reached out to Métis Nation and said, "Listen, we have a real opportunity here to spread the word of who Métis people are and that there is Métis entrepreneurs alive and well in British Columbia." So I'm really proud of the fact that we have a product that is now in grocery stores across BC and Western Canada now with the Métis Nation Business Directory logo on it, letting people know that, again, there is Métis entrepreneurs producing food to take and put in your fridges and enjoy at your next barbecue. And to me, everything, it's not just about the relish being an amazing, really great relish that my 92-year-old grandmother created many years ago. It's about the fact that somebody might get a jar of this and ask a question: who is a Métis person? What is a Métis person? What is their influence in Canada? What was their part of Canada? When I look at Métis people, they are kind of somewhat the OG entrepreneurs of Canada because they have spread out all across the lands and they traded furs across the lands. So it's kind of coming full circle, and I'm pretty proud of that.
Amazing. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the story began? How Grandma Peggy began this recipe?
Absolutely. So my grandma was born on a farm she was one of the eldest of 12 siblings, and they had a 2,000-acre homestead in Slave Lake, Alberta, which my family still has to this day. My cousins are still looking after those lands. As we know, back in the 40s, 50s, there wasn't freezers and refrigerators. So they ended up keeping and preserving meats, in ice boxes and stuff like that. Well, and of course, some of the meat wouldn't be the greatest meat, but in those days, you weren't throwing things away. So they always would grow a zucchini crop on the farm. And my great-grandfather tasked my grandmother at the time, probably in her early teens, to do something with the zucchini. And I hear from a lot of people that, hey, this is like my great aunt's zucchini relish. You hear it, but you never have seen them in grocery stores, right? They were always that family recipe. So it's really nostalgic hearing people talk about their old family recipes, trying this one and saying, "Oh, it's just like it, it's similar." So that's basically how it came to fruition. And I mean, my grandma still to this day at 92 years of age is still making this relish in her kitchen.
Amazing. And I guess she really enjoys it to this day and helps out with the business at times.
Sure. Yeah, she does help out with the business. I mean, she's we just came out with a spicy version, just released 2 weeks ago. And she had insisted that it was made with serrano peppers, and it's made with serrano peppers because that's the way it has to. I mean, you're not going to argue with a 92-year-old. So that when she says something, it happens, and that's how it is. So yeah, we don't put Grandma Peg approved on a jar without Grandma Peg's approval. So
Amazing. And that would make sense for sure. What was the inspiration behind the relish for Grandma Peggy? Was there something that really, I guess, spoke out to her and was like, this is a great path to take with all the zucchini and everything?
well, from my understanding, the inspiration behind the relish was that they, as everyone knows probably who listens to this podcast, if you've ever planted a zucchini in your garden, you always get more than what you wanted and more than what you needed. Zucchini is kind of like the plant that keeps on giving. So I think this recipe was grown out of an abundance of zucchini that they had in their crops, and something to do with it because, things, there was no waste these days. Part of my inspiration of using zucchini and using a zucchini relish is zucchini is one of the very few crops that's an overgrown crop. So I'm happy to say that, we are slowly getting, like, the farm painters fruit market that we buy zucchini from will not throw away any zucchini this year because we will use it in the relish. So we're, again, the sustainability of this product is, again, if I look back to my grandma and inspiration, it's all about the sustainability of the product, and that there is an abundance of zucchini.
That's great to hear as well. How has the creation of the relish business impacted your life and Grandma Peggy's?
So far we're pretty new, so we're only a year in. As far as it's impacted my life, it's just, I mean, and my grandmother's life, it's just the fact that we're sharing something of hers with the public. It's pretty special that she's still 90, like I say, she's 92 years old, she still drives, she still owns her own house, she's still cooking family dinners for 15 plus people. So I mean, as far as that sense goes, it's pretty special for her to be around to see this come into fruition and to just have people try her food. I mean, she's an amazing cook. She's an amazing person. She's been through everything from, I mean, being born in 1929. She's seen it all, and just sharing a little bit of Grandma Peg with everyone is probably my inspiration.
She must have been very excited when you let her know that you're starting to share the Grandma Peg recipe, I guess the relish.
I think her first words were, "You're crazy." That was her first words. You're crazy. But I mean, my grandma knows me well enough that when I do something, I jump 2 feet in, and nothing is done at 90%. It's always done at 100. And yeah, I think that was her first words. Yeah, I think you're crazy.
But you also get my full support.
Totally full support. Yeah, full support. But I'm crazy.
It's great. It's really great to hear your passion put into Rad Relish, and Grandma Peggy 100% supporting you right behind. Can you explain the process and the time it takes to create the relish? I remember there was a video or a reel posted on your Instagram page showing a bit of the process. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so actually making zucchini relish is a lot more difficult than people think. Zucchini does carry a ton of water inside of it. So essentially, if you didn't salt and soak and then get the water out of the zucchini, you'd end up with just soup. So our process of making the zucchini is really intensive. It actually takes us around 12 hours to make a batch. It's all about removing the water and creating the relish out of it that's consistent enough to use as a relish. I can't stress enough, like, we have a big processor that grates the zucchinis. Then we have to salt the zucchini, we have to soak the zucchini, we have to drain the zucchini off, get the water out of it. We use a blend of spices in the zucchini, as well as with bell peppers. Again, all of our zucchini comes from Painter's Fruit Market, which is literally 5 kilometers down the road. So they drive the tractor over with the zucchini in it. So truly a farm to table product, which is I'm really, really proud of that fact. And I mean, I got to give major props to Janae Painter at Painters, because they provide us with the best zucchinis anywhere in BC.
That's wonderful to hear. And I love the farm to table as well. It's very close and tight knit and really truly within the community and within BC as well. So that's 100%. Great. That's amazing.
The produce is grown in West Kelowna, and the product is made right in West Kelowna. So It doesn't get any more farm to table than that.
Absolutely. What is the busiest time of year and how long does it take for you to prep for it?
The busiest time of year is right now. As you know, everybody is starting to have family barbecues. Everybody's starting to clean off their barbecue grills, get the patio furniture out on the patio. You know, family gatherings are happening. Things are going on. So right now is our busiest time of year. We're gearing up for a really big summer. Also, as soon as this new zucchini crop is ready, like I say, we have 10,000 pounds of zucchini coming our way. We'll be processing that as fast as it comes into our facilities and pumping out as much relish for the people of Western Canada and hopefully Canada.
So in the 12-hour needed to create it in that one batch, how many bottles of relish will come out of it?
So usually in a typical two batches, like in a typical batch, we'll make a 70-liter batch at a time, and we'll usually double that up in a day. So we'll make about 140 liters a day.
That is quite that's a lot of relish. Oh
140
my
liters
goodness.
of relish a day is kind of where we're at.
That's
Hopefully
great.
we can, as sales increase, hopefully we can increase the capacity.
Yeah. And I guess you have a pretty high demand as well for the
Yeah,
relish.
right now, I mean, we're keeping up. I mean, we're available now in every London Drugs in Canada. We're also available in BC in local farmers markets, local producers, local grocery stores, every Nature's Fair. So we're slowly starting to bring on mass retail into the equation. So yeah, it's busy.
That's great to hear. Can you let me know how Grandma Peggy's relish differs from other relishes sold today?
I think the main difference is, I mean, again, if you asked probably our generation, our younger millennial generation, or Gen Zs, most people would say like, I'm not really a huge fan of relish. Oh, I don't really know what relish is. Yeah, and I guess from me, it's trying to re-educate people that there is good relish available without preservatives, without artificial flavoring. And I think that's one of the key points of this relish is the ingredients are very, very simple. The ingredients are the ingredients. We don't add any artificial flavorings. We don't add any artificial colorings. And the fact that it's zucchini, there's a couple zucchini relishes out there, but there's not many zucchini relishes out there at all. So I think in general, what makes it different is the fact that it's a zucchini relish.
Absolutely, and especially with the want to be healthy these days as well, right? It really plays a really good role in healthy living and ensuring that healthy lifestyle.
Totally. And I mean, it's 29 calories per quarter cup. So, I mean, it is, they're like they say, like it says on the label, 5% or less is a little and 15% or more is a lot. And I'm happy to say that everything is under 5%.
That is amazing. And I feel like whenever I go to the grocery store, whenever I look at a product, it's kind of like if one side is 5% or less, the other side is like 5%, like what, 15% and more. So it's almost like you can't really win-win with a product, but it's great to hear that with your product, you can
Totally.
win in both ways.
Yeah, we're under 5% in every category on our label. So I'm super proud of that as well. I mean, it's just nice to not only produce good tasting food, but produce good food for people.
Oh, that's amazing. I think we touched upon this topic a little bit with the new flavors, the flavor that you have coming out. And we can touch upon a little bit further. Can you describe the taste of the relish and the various flavors that you have? And what is your personal favorite flavor?
Oh, I don't have a personal favorite. I like them all, but so we have three. Currently we have three flavors. So of course we have the original flavor, which I'm holding in my hand actually. So this is the original Rad Relish. It's a sweet zucchini relish. It's just like I shouldn't say typical, but it is a sweet relish. We also have a smoked version, which is fantastic with hard cheeses on charcuterie boards. Unbelievable. And then we also have a spicy version, which really pairs greatly with pretty much anything. But I find with the spicy version that on its own, it's way spicier than when you put it on something, which is kind of what we were going for. And again, it's with serrano peppers, so the heat builds as it comes. It isn't as spicy at the first, but my grandmother wanted something that had heat building in it, so that's why we went with serrano peppers. Again, and I can't stress it enough. Most people think relish, they think hamburgers, hot dogs. This is a relish that is super versatile. You mix it with mayonnaise, you have tartar sauce for fish and chips. It can be on your charcuterie board. It can be with lamb. It can be with pork. It can be with really anything. I mean, I have people who are using it as their base for flatbread pizzas. So it is super versatile. It's a super versatile product. That's why it was created in the first place. It was to be versatile, to not just be used on one thing. So again, re-educating people about relish and what it can be used for. I had a guy message me on Instagram the other day and said, I'm putting 2 dollops of this in my egg salad sandwich, and it's the best egg salad sandwich I've ever had in my life. So it goes to show you the versatility of it.
Personally, for myself, I mean, you're educating me right now as well, because I even for my personal experience with relish, I immediately go to hot dogs. Like, where do I put relish on? Hot dogs. That's it. I would
Absolutely.
never put it on anything else, or I guess I would never explore or expand my palate in that sense with other types of foods. So that's actually really great to hear, and the
Yeah.
re-education piece is really big. So.
Totally, totally. And like I say, I'm happy for people to try it on everything. Share with what you're trying it on. I mean, it's fun. That's one things I've really really enjoyed about starting this company is seeing what people are putting the relish on. So I highly encourage people. Please share it on Instagram. Please share it with us because I look at it and then I go and try it myself. So it's a lot of fun for me too.
Absolutely. I was curious. So, how did Grandma Peggy feel when she was testing out the, I guess the spiciness of the new flavor? Because I guess as it progresses, it gets spicier. So, were you testing it most of the time, or was Grandma Peggy testing it most of the time?
Grandma Peg actually made the first version of the spicy relish last September, and then we've started mass producing it this year. So she's still quite involved.
Oh my goodness, because I can't imagine. I'm not much of a spicy person, so I can't tolerate that much. So honestly, good for her. She can tolerate her spice, so
Oh
that's
yeah, and
amazing.
I have to say it is tolerable. I mean, even for I would say expand your horizons, try something new, take a
Absolutely.
chance. No risk, no reward.
And any new flavors we should be keeping an eye out for? Is Grandma Peggy cooking up any new recipes that we should be looking out for? Anything of that sort?
No, well at this time, like I say, we're just in like I think the smoked and the spicy is only available in 3 or 4 stores right now. We're literally just ramping up production of the smoked and the spicy, so that's what to look out for. That's going to be the big push this year is to have the 3 SKUs standing on their own. As far as future plans go, sky's the limit. We never know what we're you never know what grandma's going to come up with.
Always the 100%, right? That's exciting. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience being a vendor at the farmers market? Has it helped your business in any way?
Totally. You know what? I love going to farmers markets. I always loved going to farmers markets. I had never been selling at a farmers market. To me, it's just the grassroots movement of talking, direct to your customer, talking to your customer, getting feedback from your customer, hearing from your customer, seeing your customer. You know, that's the most important part of farmers markets. I also really, really enjoy the community that it creates and the aspect of the community. Um, in the world we're living in today, we need more positive community events that people can get together and people can celebrate. And what better way to celebrate than great BC food? In
Absolutely.
every farmer's market I attend, there's always something new to see. There's always something different. There's always something that you go, I should probably try that. Or, that candle would be probably awesome in my home. Or, the ready to go food items that are there. It's just fantastic. And I mean, I can't say enough for the BC Farmers Market Association and, you know, huge support from them and just helping us get and speak with our customers.
Absolutely. A lot of great connections created, yeah?
Totally.
And what was your experience being an indigenous vendor? Was there ever like anyone like asking about it? I guess as like customers or other vendors like asking about being
Me.
Métis? Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what? The biggest thing that we get is Métis people just being so proud to see a Métis product. So that's the biggest thing is we'll get someone to come up and, oh my God, I can't believe there's a Métis product available. I can't, like, makes me so proud that there's something Métis here and stuff like that. So like, to me, that's the biggest reward. And then also, having people real, like I say again, realize that there is Métis entrepreneurs alive and well in BC and establishing. And there's not just me, there's lots of Métis entrepreneurs in BC. So I would strongly recommend that people, hop onto Métis Nation British Columbia's website and have a look at the Métis Nation business directory, because there's not just, Garrett as the food product, but there is, marketing people. There's people people with construction companies. We have food service businesses. We have restaurants that are owned by Métis people. We have realtors that are Métis people. So, I can't stress enough that, like, if you want to learn about what the Métis culture is and that, have a look through Métis Nation British Columbia, and it's all right there. Their website's fantastic.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's an amazing resource for myself to take a look at as well and to learn more. So thank you so much for sharing that. Where can we find Rad Relish? I know we talked a bit about it, but to wrap it up, where can we find it? Which farmers market? And where can we expect to see you this season?
So this season, you can expect to see us at a few select farmers markets in Kelowna. So we do frequent, both Rad Jams and Rad Relish do frequent the Kelowna Farmers Market. As far as finding Rad Relish, you can find Rad Relish at every London Drugs in Canada. All 78 stores carry Rad Relish. You can find Rad Relish at every Nature's Fair in British Columbia. And then you can find Rad Relish at multiple grocery retailers around the province. I think we're in just over 200 stores. And if we're not in the store that you like to shop at, ask for Rad Relish and we can get it there for you, no problem.
Perfect. And I believe there's also the website we can also purchase from.
Totally, yeah. You can go to radjams.com and order directly, and we're happy to ship it right to your door.
Perfect. How long have you been involved with the farmers market?
So I've been involved with the farmers market only for a year, because I just came on with Kyla in the last year, but Rad Jams has been involved with the BC Farmers Market for, I believe, 5 years.
Amazing. That's great to hear. And were you also part of the farmers market during the pandemic?
Yeah, we did a few. Like I say, we're not there every weekend, because we're pretty busy. Yeah. But yeah, we were part of a few of the ones during COVID. And again, it was just so great to see the community come out. I mean, even though people were wearing masks and so on and so forth, just to talk to people, just to communicate, it's important. Yeah. I mean, I think we've all spent way too much time in front of the computer, and what better way to get out and just celebrate the goodness of BC?
Absolutely. Was there anything else that you would like to talk about or share about Rad Relish before we wrap it up?
No, I think I just would really strongly encourage consumers out there to get out and try new foods. Get out, shop local, buy local foods, buy local produce. More than ever so, we need to start buying foods from our local producers. And a huge shout out to all of the local farmers, all of the local producers, all of the local food creators, all of the local artisans. Huge shout out, because everybody survived for the last couple of years, and I think we're going to come back bigger, better, stronger. So that's all I would really have to add, is just big shout out to everybody out there that's producing.
It is wonderful how Garrett and Grandma Peggy are making strides to bring awareness to Métis entrepreneurs and starting the conversation on learning about the Métis communities through Rad Relish. Please visit Rad Relish's online website or at the Kelowna Farmers Market to show your support. Also, please follow us on our social media pages at BC Farmers Market. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Or sign up for our newsletter to be kept in the loop. We have some fun content coming up, so be sure to stay tuned. If you're looking for the nearest farmers market, be sure to visit bcfarmersmarkettrail.com. This is Jocelyn from the BC Farmers Market. Thank you so much for joining us on our first podcast, and I'll see you next time. Bye!